Hello everybody, welcome back to another exciting video. Today talking about my top 32 NFL quarterback rankings. I know you guys were all waiting for this, psych, but anyways, I'll cover it anyway because I have a very nuanced take on the NFL. Most people do not have the opinions that I do, and you might say, oh, you're a new fag, oh, you've only been following it for less than a year, and yes, okay, true, it's all true. I'm a new guy, but I think that I can have a pretty good assessment about what's happening, all right? So we'll go ahead and start out with Tom Brady. Where's Tom Brady? Is he S tier? Is he A tier? Is he B tier? Is he C? D? Well, we'll just put him in S. I don't want you guys to click off the video right away anyway. So yeah, no, Tom Brady is really good. I think his IQ is the best. I think his experience basically allows him to know where to throw the ball and all the little nuances of the game that basically allows you to become a good game manager. Now, I will say this. He's a liability going forward insofar as he's going to degrade in terms of throwing power, etc. But this ranking is basically predicated on just like this upcoming year. You know, just like right now, what is going on, the 2021-22 season, and not the results necessarily, but just basically my vibe about it. Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is S tier as well. Joe Burrow is amazing. He doesn't have the best body, but he does have the best IQ. And I think that his IQ is actually better than Tom Brady's for his age. Obviously, that age gap and the experience gap, by 20 years allows Tom to be better than Joe right now. But I think Joe Burrow will be better than Tom Brady. I think like next year or the year after, you let Tom age a little bit, and Joe Burrow will easily be in front of the pack there. Joe Burrow has the best IQ, like I said. He had a shitty offensive line last year, and that still didn't stop him from tearing ass. No homo. He did great. He got injured in the last season before this one, and he still got back better, built back better. Unironically, it did happen. And the guy's pretty cool. His personality is somewhat kind of fake. It's kind of like a Jack Harlow, like, oh, I'm going to pretend like I'm cool. I'm apolitical, guys. But that's kind of the sociopath sort of like, oh, I'm actually one of the bros and I'm also a liberal. I think that's kind of cool, actually. It's very nuanced, but you guys wouldn't get it. Anyways, we're going to move on to, I presume, Taylor Heineke for the Washington team, right? The Commanders now, the Redskins. I'll just call them the Redskins. I don't give a fuck. The Commanders have a shitty quarterback whatever year. Just look back like 5 years in the past, look 1 year into the future. Bad quarterbacks all across the panel. Anyway, we'll put Mr. Heineke at D. He sucks, and I saw him in it while they were in the hunt, like when they were 6-6 against Dallas, and there were some good points with Taylor Heineke. He did pretty well against Tom Brady in the playoffs in the wild card of 2021. But what I will say is that the guy sucks generally. He underthrows Terry McLaurin. He just cannot throw the ball as far as he needs to. And again, the scrambling's kind of cool. He is actually a man's man who will, run the ball and get tackled for extra yards and all that. But then again, he just sucks generally. So physically, he's not great, and mentally, he's not great at all either. So he sucks. Now we're gonna move on to somebody like Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is also S tier. Patrick, I would actually put behind Tom. Again, the IQ thing is what basically salvages Tom over Patrick. Also, Tom Brady is more consistently good than Patrick Mahomes. That being said, Patrick Mahomes does have the better body. He is younger going forward, and the physicality is better. He's not Lamar Jackson in terms of mobility, but at the same time, you have to consider this, and that is that Patrick Mahomes can throw the ball sideways. He can pitch it. He can shovel pass it pretty well. He can throw off balance. He can throw it on his knees theoretically. He can do the Superman throw. He can do the Soldier Boy and all that. I mean, the guy has it all, throwing power, etc. He has a great body. No homo, again. Not Jackson Mahomes. But anyway, the point is that he's really good, and he'll probably be better than Brady going forwards like in 2 years. So that's something to note. He's obviously top 5. No debate there. And then we're going to get somebody random out of here. We're going to get the Tennessee Titans quarterback that looks somewhat like Justin Timberlake and some random guy from NSYNC. And that is, what's his name? Ryan Tannehill, also known as the quarterback selected in the Fantasy Football League of Jeb Bush in 2015 when he was with the Dolphins. I think that Tannehill, personally, is a B. I think he's above average, but that's about it. It highly is dependent on the team around him, which is why he can't be that good. He's somewhere around like the 13th best quarterback, 15 maybe. He's not that great. He doesn't have a great arm. He doesn't have good mobility either. He's pretty good at doing the reads. He knows where to throw it usually, and he can throw it somewhat in a tight window. But at the same time, you just have a sour taste like vinegar in your mouth when you're talking about people like Ryan Tannehill. The way that he completely flamed out against the Cincinnati Bengals, throwing 3 interceptions, and you can say like 1 or 2 of them were like tipped or whatever, sure. But again, people don't know that when they're looking at the stat sheet in 5 years. So we're gonna place the complete blame on the failure of the Titans on Mr. T over here. So Tannehill's not that good. Then we have Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's overrated. People say, oh, he's underrated, Matty Ice. Well, shut the fuck up, faggot, first of all. Okay, stop calling him Matty Ice. That's not cool. The guy looks like he's an extra in King of the Hill. The guy has completely no charisma. The guy's lame. And all he can do is kvetch about, like, oh, it's not my fault that I lost against the Patriots. And it's like, well, yeah, no, that's true, actually. But, still loser, bro. It's like the Jay-Z song that's like, still, nigga. It's like, still a loser to Tom Brady. Okay, he got felted 28-3. Yeah, sad. We all saw it live. Anyway, Matt Ryan's not that good. And in particular in Madden, he's not that good either, But, just watching him, again, he's high IQ, but not a good body, not a good throwing power either. Accurate, yeah, but, nothing promising. Tom Brady is a better quarterback, and he's like 10 years older. So, I mean, it's kind of embarrassing at this point. Because of that fact, I'll put Matt Ryan at the top of the B. You're not that great, man. I'm not going to lie to you, brother. So I'll just put you there. Anyways, we'll go on to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a guy who has an earring in his right ear, I think. So I guess he's cool. Anyway, the point being is that Jalen Hurts is a guy, and you'll hear Skip Bayless talk about often, oh, he's a team leader, he's one of the boys, and he commands the locker room. And that's all true. These how do I say this? These intangibles are very key to point out. But what I will say about Jalen Hurts is that he does not have good accuracy with the ball. He cannot throw it deep and get it accurate. And I think that with time, it'll get better because that's just a mental problem. That's like low IQ, like, oh, let me throw it. And, so physically he can throw it far. It's just a question of, can you actually get it accurate? Most people can. God forbid he becomes a Brett Favre and just keeps tossing it to the safety. But we'll just keep in mind the fact that he can become very inaccurate at like the post 20-yard mark in terms of pass completions, which is why I will say this. He can't be that good. I'll put him at the top of the C tier. He's just not very consistent. But then again, he has good mobility. He has the intangibles. He has the looks. And if he can get over the mental humps, like if he can boost his IQ points by 15, if he gets into like the 110 IQ range, then, maybe you can actually be a good quarterback, Jalen. But until then, you're going to be throwing these. Like, I think he overthrew Watkins, or he overthrew receivers at the Tampa game in the playoffs, and they got eviscerated mainly due to Jalen Hurts sucking. He just could not throw the ball to save his life, frankly. So because of that, until that gets better, you're a C tier. Baker Mayfield. Now, my friend might get mad at me. These dog pound bros. They're trash. Number 1 overall pick, I believe. Baker Mayfield is somewhat of a bust. I'm not gonna lie, and weeks of Skip Bayless defending this nigga is like, bro, stop, okay? He's a complete douchebag in the State Farm commercials, and I personally do not like his personality, and that compounds the fact that he's not been good recently. And, oh, he played while he was hurt. Nigga, then don't play. Everybody's going to use the injured film against you, and you still went out on a limb. What, to bail out your team to, 7-10? Was it even worth it, bro? Just tank the fucking game. Have Case Keenum or whoever was your backup and have them play, because you clearly cannot do it yourself. You cannot play. So, he's a fool. And Baker Mayfield, oh, he's the underdog. He's always the underdog. Maybe because you suck constantly. Maybe because you're the bitch dog, huh? You're the bad one. Okay, Baker? He got clowned on by Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray completely mogged him on the Sooner field. When we're talking about Sooner quarterbacks, we're talking about Kyler Murray, not fucking Mr. Baker. Trash. Baker act him. He's garbage. I don't like him. But all the rational hatred for content and views aside, we will put him at the top of the C tier, I guess. Like, he can be good in spurts. He was good in the second year or the first year. I don't even remember. The 0-16 Browns got a lot better with him. That coincided coincidentally with like better coaching and Myles Garrett and all these other people. But let's forget the Nick Chubb contribution. We'll just it was all no. It was all Baker Mayfield. Okay, Skip Bayless, you fucking retard. We'll get Mac Jones into the fray here. Mac Jones, and we're not gonna count Cam Newton because Cam Newton fucking stinks right now, and he has like these personality issues too. So anyway, we're just gonna talk about Mac Jones. I like Mac Jones actually. He's like this like country white guy, or at least he gives the vibe of that. He had a DUI in college. It's kind of relatable to a lot of people. Not me. Hey, I don't drink. But anyway, the point being that Mac Jones, he's not that good. He has a low ceiling and a high floor. He's like reverse Tua. Anyway, the point being is that, he doesn't have a great body. He has a Joe Burrow body. No homo. It's not a good thing. You're like 6'3", you run like a 4.8 or something. not very mobile. So yeah, no, Mac Jones, you have the same body as Tom Brady more or less, but with a lower IQ. I don't see why you're going to be any better than Tom at all, frankly. So I think that Mac Jones is going to be like at the bottom of the B tier, just like generally speaking. Obviously, last season he led his team to the playoffs, which is cool. Shout out, big shout out. He completely choked though against the Buffalo Bills. Like that was a complete feltoning. It was embarrassing. Come on, there were like dildos on the fucking on the end zone. Like it was embarrassing. Oh my god, Jesus. Okay, anyway, so he got clowned on. So, but again, it's his rookie season. He outshone Mr. Newton in the OTAs or in the practice preseason, and because of that, I salute Mac Jones. And if you want to become dollar store Tom Brady, knock yourself out, brother. So we'll leave you there. We have presumably Jameis Winston as the future starter of the New Orleans Saints. And the New Orleans Saints, by the way, are a team that is very enigmatic. They have a terrible cap space, and they have a lot of other issues. But frankly, another issue that I see with them is the unstable quarterback room. And it's for a lot of good reasons why. And, Taysom Hill sucks generally, while also at the same time you have Jameis Winston, who did remarkably against the Packers, just completely fucking sodomized Aaron Rodgers, mate. It was terrible. Aaron Rodgers played like shit, bro. They had Jordan Love play at the end because he sucked. Garbage time. Anyway, he completely felted the Packers in Jacksonville, I think, week 1. And I think that he had, 15 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in the first 4 games. Just great stats. Now, obviously, that wouldn't have held up because statistically speaking, it would have gone off the rails eventually. Jameis Winston throws a lot, very Brett Favre, lots of yards, lots of interceptions, lots of turnovers, but a lot of touchdowns too, boys. Anyways, I think that he'll be more accurate than he was a couple of years ago, and because of that, I think that he'll be an above average quarterback. I'd say he'd be like somewhere around like the 14 to 15 range of quarterbacks, slightly better than, the median. And, I mean, again, this is very subject to change. He had LASIK eye surgery recently, which is going to make him probably throw less interceptions, I hope. So we're going to put you at the bottom of the B tier, probably, because you're not as consistent as Mac Jones, but you have a higher ceiling than Mac. Because of that, I'm going to keep you there, buddy. Okay. Anyways, you have Trevor Lawrence. Very shitty first year. Obviously, your coaching wasn't good. You had the physical talent, but time and time again, you choked. Now, I saw him against the Colts, Carson Wentz, a very ugly guy. Anyway, he did pretty well in that game. It kind of showed like his ceiling, actually him being good for once. And because of that, I'll say that you've got to be like the top of the D tier. He can get good. It just depends on the coaching and it depends on the cast. But, so far, not very promising. Yet again, he can be good in the right scenario. So we'll keep my eyes out for him. We have... We'll put in Carson Wentz. Obviously, this was like before the offseason, but we'll have Carson Wentz be in the Colt uniform anyway. So Carson Wentz, he's in the bottom of the C tier. The guy has capability of being very good, but at the same time is not consistent, and he fumbles the ball quite the amount. And beyond this, he does not have the intangibles. He kind of seems like a bitch to me for personally. And second of all, he also is just dysgenic. He's ugly, and people like to pussyfoot around a lot of these social issues. They want to be politically correct, like, oh wow, this guy's so cool, Joe Burrow's so cool, Tom Brady's so cool, but Carson Wentz, I hate Carson Wentz. Oh, I wonder why, bro. Let me compare. Donald Trump did the Ted Cruz wife comparison where he's like a picture says 1,000 words. Well, let's put fucking Joe Burrow next to Mr. Wentz here, and well, 1,000 words can be told in just a single picture or two. And so yeah, Carson Wentz has an unfortunate face that only a mother could love, frankly. Okay. And because of that, I just have no inclination to like the guy, and I'm not even gay. It's just, you're ugly, and you have no charisma, and you suck. So because of that, Carson Wentz, you're going at the bottom of the C tier, going to play with the fucking Redskins. You suck. It's over for you. Anyway, Tua Tagovailoa. I actually pronounced that pretty well. Tua was picked, I think, in the top 5 of the 2020 NFL Draft. Picked before Justin Herbert. Nigga. Really? Talk about a bust. The guy fucking sucks. The guy cannot even throw it further than Taylor Heineke can, physically. One of the weakest arms in the NFL, frankly. I would be damned if he could throw more than 65 yards, which is pretty necessary when you have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle as your number 1 and 2 receivers in your receiver core going into next year. Oh, my God. So, you spend all this trade capital spending like a first, second, and a fourth round pick, I think, for Tyreek Hill or something. And for what exactly? So that you can throw a screen pass to him? Really? Come on, bro. Tua does not have good mobility in the pocket. Sure, he had a shitty offensive line, but that doesn't excuse the fact that he was way worse than Burrow, despite Burrow having a shitty offensive line as well. And you might say, well, Tua's was actually even worse, bro. And it's like, well, first of all, Austin Jackson was a first-round pick, I believe. And if he didn't play up to stuff, that's kind of the fault of your organization, which also tanked for Tua. And not even that. You have Brian Flores, who's like this black grifter, who's talking about NFL and slavery and all that shit. So, fuck you all, Dolphin fans. You are blown the fuck out. Your quarterback is overrated, and I would honestly, unironically, would rather have Jared Goff as a Dolphins fan than waste the number 5 overall pick or whatever he was on fucking Tua Tagovailoa. He's trash. Trash. He's trash. Oh, but you don't know if he's a bust yet. Well, just compare him to fucking Herbert. Compare him to Burrow. The guy is a fucking fluke. The guy sucks. I hate Tua. He's D tier, bro. He's probably like one step ahead of Heineke, and that's about it just because of potential and he's younger. Tua's a fucking retard. I don't like that guy. And I'm being vulgar because I want to be entertaining, guys. I don't actually hate these people. It's obviously just a game. Anyway, Green Bay Packers, the Green Bay Fudge Packers. We hate on the Green Bay. We hate on the Green Bay. Yes, we do. NFC Chads hate on the Green Bay. Green Bay over here has a quarterback tandem of Kurt Benkert, who nobody cares about besides Tom Grossi and his fan base. And then you have Jordan Love, who is good in Madden, on the cheap. You like spend like a 3rd round pick on the guy or whatever, but he's fine. But then you have Mr. Aaron Rodgers, okay? Danica Patrick lover. Shailene Woodley lover, also known as Dollar Store Jennifer Lawrence lover. And, the guy doesn't have a good track record with women. He doesn't have a good track record with the vaccine. And I'm saying that from the conservative point of view. He lied about it. He didn't have the balls to do what was right, which is to say, nigga, I'm unvaccinated. And there's nothing wrong with that. But no, he decided to be an idiot and lied about it. Anyway, the guy is a complete, self-absorbed narcissist. Woe is me. Oh, I keep losing in the playoffs. It's not my fault. It's the defense's fault. It's a specialty. Nigga, you scored not even 2 touchdowns against the fucking 49ers in your home field in Lambeau. You suck. This guy trying to throw to Devontae in double coverage when Allen Lazard was wide open by like 10 yards, bro. And then this guy, and then these Aaron Rodgers sympathizers, these fucking contrarian faggots over here. Oh, well, it's not that bad because, he got Christian Watson and he had like 2 linebackers that the team didn't even need, bro. So it's, it's just beginning. And he has Romeo Doubs that none of us knew who he was until like a couple weeks ago. Oh, it's going to be fine. No, it's not. No, it's not, bro. My God. If you guys unironically think that a receiving core with Allen Lazard, Sammy Watkins, and fucking who else? Who else is there? Sammy Watkins, Lazard, and Christian Watson. Is that really going to take you to the promised land, bros? Really? Nah, I would rather have Devontae there with Allen Lazard and MVS. But instead, no, you have a shittier receiver core. And that's even if Christian Watson is actually what he's sold to be. So, no. Aaron Rodgers is not going to win the Super Bowl next year. I'm very sure of it. And if he does, I'm going to do something very reckless for the sake of the show. But the point being is that Aaron Rodgers is very overrated. Does he have good stats? Yeah, no. Of course he has good stats. But the fact is that the guy has a terrible personality. He does not have a winning spirit. He's not cool. He looks like shit for his age, frankly. And just is gay. You're gay, bro. Just own it. And the Green Bay fans are so fucking salty, bro. No Super Bowl in this decade. You are so mad, bros. Jesus. Oh, my God. So, yeah, a tandem of Aaron Rodgers' personality, physiognomy, track record, and fan base makes me think that he's overrated. And Aaron Rodgers, you're getting put in the A tier, nig. Look at that, bro. Okay, Russell Wilson, also known as Mr. Unlimited. The guy, he's pretty cool. What's cool about him is that he bottles up all his emotions. He's like very sociopathic. He doesn't really convey emotion, and that's awesome. I like that. I'm being somewhat contrarian, but the point is that that's kind of cool. Nothing phases him. He gets injured. He doesn't cry because he's a fucking man. All right, he's dating Ciara, who is good looking but kind of looks like a man. It's kind of like a Black Giselle Bundchen, actually. It's kind of I'm torn on the Giselle question. I mean on the Ciara question, but let alone the wife that he's with. We'll talk about his actual football record, and I'd say that he's pretty good actually. He's in the A tier for sure. He has good arm. He scrambles very well, even for his age. He reads the defense really well as well. And beyond just not like being quick, he's also very good at being elusive and breaking sacks, and not necessarily being the fastest, but just being the smartest in terms of where you're running and knowing when to throw it and when to, sorry, throwing it out of bounds. So we love Russ. We love Russ. We trust Russ. Okay, in Russ we trust. Because of that fact, we are gonna put him in the A tier behind Aaron Rodgers because I hate Aaron, but I'm not retarded. So we'll just acknowledge that Aaron, you are better than Russ, but not by a lot. Then we have Matthew Stafford of Detroit fame, boys. He just won the Super Bowl. He must be great. No, he's good. He's good, but he has this like level of like Wentzian inconsistency. He throws interceptions inopportunely. He had a lot of arm punts this season recently with the Rams, and frankly has these issues as a quarterback. That being said, he does have these intangibles that make him a Hall of Fame quarterback in my mind and in the mind of my best friend. These Lions fans are vindicated on the what's his name? Matthew Stafford question. Matthew Stafford can do like the no-look pass. He throws it very far, quick zip on the pass. He's very durable. He's an Iron Man. He plays all the games he can. He's awesome. We love Matthew. But then again, the consistency thing is, that you leave a little bit there to be desired. You can expect elite quarterback play from Matthew like 80% of the games, but the other ones, you gotta hope that your defense bails you out, including Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, and it did bail him out. Anyways, my point is that he's elite, but also doesn't play elite all the time, which is why I'll probably put you behind Russell Wilson, believe it or not. But at least you don't choke in the playoffs as hard as Aaron Rodgers does. And we won't include the choke job against the Dallas Cowboys and the Seahawks because those weren't even close, bro. Not your fault. We love you, Matthew. Anyway, we have Jared Goff with the Detroit Lions. Lion pride, let's go. Anyway, we love the Lions. They're losers. We get it, but they're cool. So, Jared Goff. 3-3 playoff record, I believe. Lost in the Super Bowl with not a touchdown to his name. That's fine. We excuse it, bro. It happens to the best of us. Anyway, the point being is that, Jared Goff is a good quarterback because he reads the defense well. He's elite at play action, which is cool. I like doing it in Madden. And beyond this, he can throw it deeper better than you could expect. Statistically speaking, if you look at the second half of the Lions season, he did remarkable. He was a top 10 quarterback, I believe, in the second half of the season when the team was more healthy than at the beginning when they had P. Sewell and Frank Ragnow playing together, I think. And given the fact that he's going to have a better receiving core next year with DJ Chark and Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown, etc., Cephas, Reynolds, etc., DeAndre Swift, and TJ Hawkinson, he's going to have a great receiving core next year. And I think that'll help him exceed expectations and maybe take them to a wild card berth at best next year. And, I'll be there for it. He definitely has consistent play. He plays well most of the time, like I said. And his upside isn't that bright, but at the same time, you don't really need that right now in Detroit. You just kind of want a guy to hold you over until next year, and he is that guy. And again, he's very average, but if you look at the specific points of time when the team is healthy that he's playing on, you'll see that he does very well and kind of lives up to that number 1 overall billing from 2016. So, scuffed football, Ryan Reynolds, or what's his name, Ryan Gosling, sorry guys, I fucked up the reference, is going to be put in at the B tier somewhere. I'll probably put him at the bottom of the B. He's just good. I like the guy. He's smart. He's a bro. He's a bro. Lamar Jackson, also known as Mike Vick's prodigy. By the way, I just had to mention this. Black people like to say Mike Vick. Hey, yo, bro, you saw Mike Vick play, bro? You got Mike Vick? I just found that funny. But Michael Vick, dual threat capability. He enhanced the whole game of the dual threat in the 2000s. Then you see, I think picked at 31 or 32 overall. You had Lamar Jackson, picked by the Baltimore Ravens in the 2018 offseason in the draft. And he did phenomenal. He got the MVP. He runs a 4.3 something, like a 4.33, lightning fast, the guy. He's 6'2". So, there's one thing if you're like fast and you're like 5'8", and then there's fast when you're 6 foot. So, again, awesome. Weighs over 200 pounds, I believe. Has a sense of durability that proved him to be competent. I believe that he's only been injured once for like 6 weeks in this season, which caused him to miss the playoffs, in my opinion, in last year. So that's the reason why he didn't make the playoffs. But every other year, I think he did make the playoffs, which kind of goes to show that he is a great quarterback in that respect. So yeah, no, I respect Lamar a lot. A lot of people say, well, he can't pass well. And yeah, that is sort of true. He's not that accurate. It's kind of like Jalen Hurts. It's the same problem where you can throw it far enough. That isn't the problem. Your arm isn't the problem. It's your mind. The running, gunning, the sort of like calibration of the throw, the accuracy while you're aiming it, while sensing pressure. It's all an IQ experience thing. He'll get better over time with the throwing though, so which is why I'm not going to bitch on it too much. But that being said, he's not as an elite a passer as Patrick Mahomes. But then again, he's more mobile than Patrick Mahomes. But then again, how effective is the rushing capability? The best rusher of all time, Michael Vick, probably. What he got like 1,000 rushing yards tops, maybe 800. So are you better off getting 5,000 yards like Tom Brady did in the past with no legs, or would you rather get like 3,500 with 800 rushing like Lamar and have a 50% chance of getting injured for more than 2 weeks at a time every season? So again, the dual threat capability is overrated at this point. You could have made an argument 25 years ago that the dual threat thing was slept on, but nowadays I say the dual threat thing is overrated. It's a cool thing to have, but it's not the must need. And I would way rather have a guy like Tom Brady physically that's smart than I would want a guy that's physically talented like Michael Vick or. Well, actually, I will not blaspheme. I will not make fun of Michael Vick. I respect Michael Vick, and I'm a contrarian, and I respect him. And you know what? As long as he didn't hurt my dogs, we're good. So because of that, we endorse Michael Vick, and we also endorse Lamar Jackson. But that being said, I just think that I would rather have a Joe Burrow than a Lamar Jackson because Lamar Jackson does not have as high of an IQ as Joe Burrow. And last time I checked, Joe Burrow isn't dumb enough to not take a shit before a game and have to shit mid-game. That's funny, bro. The guy literally like sharted his pants during a game. But that's kind of base. That's kind of cool. Anyways, we'll put Lamar Jackson at the bottom of the A tier because he has tremendous upside. He's still young, and the rushing capability is unparalleled among new guys. So because of that, we'll give you a lot of credit, Lamar. I mean, you could be as good of a passer as Russell Wilson, in a couple of years. So, cheers to that. Cheers to that. Ben Roethlisberger is kind of irrelevant at this point. That being said, he sucked ass. I'm not going to lie about it. In Madden or in actual NFL, you'll see him, and he's terrible now. And I get that he retired, but the year before, he was still falling off, okay? And frankly, this year, he was carried by the defense, TJ Watt, whatever have you, Minka Fitzpatrick, all these other good players to it. But honestly, Ben Roethlisberger did not have the arm to throw it past 15 yards in most instances and could not rush to save his life. He kept getting sacked multiple times. And yes, he did have a quick release, but that's due to experience, in my opinion, and because he had to get used to his he had the Joe Burrow problem where he had to throw it in less than 2 seconds because of the O-line sucking most of the year. But point being is that the defense outperformed a Hall of Fame quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger, and because of that, I'll say that you suck now. And again, that's not to discredit Ben. Ben is obviously one of the best quarterbacks ever in the grand scheme of things. But this season, though, like as of right now, 40-year-old Ben sucks ass. And that is mostly his fault, because Tom is older. So, and you still suck anyway, Ben. So we have Justin Fields. Justin Fields is an enigma. He clearly has a lot of dual threat capability. He has a good arm. He has good physicals. But then again, he does not have a high IQ, in my opinion, which is a limiting factor more so than the physical limitations of Joe Burrow or Tom Brady. So this is like a classic dichotomy that most people don't understand. And in the NFL, most fans don't get this. But he needs a lot of maturation in order to be good enough to really solicit the 11th overall pick in 2021 as being worth it. So because of that, he didn't really impress anybody with the season with the Chicago Bears. That being said, he did have a defensive-minded head coach. So that sort of explains why he sucked. And, obviously his supporting cast wasn't that great. You had Darnell Mooney, who is not a number one receiver right now. And you had Allen Robinson, who was half-assing it too. So that's not great either. So because of that, I'll cut him a little bit of a break there. I will say that he can be good, but as of right now, he's not much better than Trevor Lawrence, to be completely honest. And Trevor Lawrence had the shittier team anyway, so we'll see who gets better next year by how much. Next, we're going to be talking about Drew Lock, because Teddy Bridgewater is not going to start for any team, so we'll just cover Drew Lock for the Seahawks. Assuming he's going to be the starter for the Seahawks, I would say personally that Drew Lock is overrated as hell. Sorry, no, I'm kidding. He's not. Nobody has high hopes for the guy. He has high confidence, which is good to have. I mean, if you don't believe in yourself, then nobody will, really. So, Drew Lock is terrible, and I mean terrible, as a quarterback. He has no mobility, in my opinion, and he also, he has the body for a quarterback. Like, he's tall and he has the arm and all that, but he cannot read defenses well at all. He's low IQ. So, like, not only are you tall, white, and low IQ with no dual threat capability, but you also are not going to a good team. So, you're kind of bum fucked, actually. So, because of that, we'll put you even worse than Big Ben, honestly. You're awful. Okay, anyway. Hold on. So, San Francisco 49ers will basically just rank Trey Lance because Trey Lance is probably going to be the main quarterback for next year. But the 49ers, Trey Lance, he's pretty good. He's great in Madden, by the way, but physically speaking, he has it all. It's just a question of will he adapt to the big leagues compared to the relatively small peanuts that he had to deal with in North Dakota State, I believe. So because of that, we'll see what happens. So it's tremendous upside with no real predictability. Now, what I will say is that if you look at the Arizona game, he sucked ass, but at the second end of that game, he got better. And when you look at the Texans game, and granted, it was weak competition, I know, but he got way better in the second half than the first, which kind of shows that he is getting a lot better over time. So by week 3 to 6, we'll see if he's worth starting over Garoppolo. And I will say that he is better than Garoppolo right now, actually. A lot of his problem is inexperience, but obviously this will get ironed out over time. So I think that as of right now, he's the most promising prospect of 2021, to be completely frank, among the QBs, which is why I'll put him I'll put him at the top of the C tier. And don't be surprised if in 5 years he'll be at the A tier or the S tier, because I think that physically he has it all. He's quick, nice acceleration, good release, strong arm. Obviously that 6'4", 6'5", whatever. Good build, tall, strong. He's got it all. Michael Vick, but actually, no. Colin Kaepernick, but actually cool. Anyways, Derek Carr, overrated. Everybody says, "Oh, this guy's underrated." Kind of like this guy. What's his name? Matt Ryan. He's kind of like Matt Ryan. Oh, everybody underrates them. Well, if everybody's saying he's underrated, then he's now being overrated. So because of that, I'll say that you're not that good, actually, Derek. Derek, you're probably like right around the Tannehill range. Derek does not have any strong physical capability. He's an above-average quarterback in general in terms of reading defenses, being a team leader, etc. And he did not have the best supporting cast. Of course, we lost Henry Ruggs in the offseason. Or not in the offseason, actually at the beginning of the season. So that's unfortunate. Henry Ruggs was a great player, up and coming, speed-wise and all that. So because of that, he probably didn't play as well as he was intending to as a quarterback. But that's fine. I'll excuse it. But still, you got blown out by Mr. Burrow over here. You lost by a touchdown, I believe, which is embarrassing. And because of that, you cannot get that much credit. Derek Carr, apparently he had like an MVP season, like at the first half of a season a couple of years ago, which shows that he's not really getting better at all. Like if you've been a quarterback for 8 years and you're just now being like good, then you're not great. So again, you have above average IQ, but your body's not great. Therefore, you cannot be that good. I would say that Matt Ryan is a better passer as of right now. Obviously, in a couple years, we'll see what happens. But, Derek Carr at 30 years old is not going to have a lot of ceiling to explore here. Not a lot of room for improvement. Unfortunately, for Raiders bros, felt it again. Fuck you guys. Anyway, Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott, he's a very controversial figure in terms of rankings. People put him like either in the top 10 to like top 15. That's like he's like a consensus number 12 or something. Dak Prescott, he plays well given the fact that he was a 4th round pick, to be fair. But what I will say is that he does have the intangibles to be a leader, which is awesome. But then again, Dak doesn't have an amazing arm. He has above average mobility, believe it or not. He's a soldier. I like that. He has the cowboy sort of swag. I like that too. But then again, his body isn't amazing. I'd say it's about average, if not above average. A little bit of elusiveness. He can run a little bit low key. If y'all remember in the divisional round, he like somersaulted over like somebody to like almost get a touchdown in home field advantage. So that was pretty cool. So he's awesome. I like him. But that being said, again, he's not amazing. And you have to also consider that he played with a good team all of his life. We're looking at a great offensive line for the most part, with Zach Martin, Lale Collins, and what's the other guy's name? Tyron Smith. So the guy had a good supporting cast, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and the other guy, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, and the guy that they just lost, Amari Cooper. He's had a great receiving core this whole time. He had Des Bryant earlier on in his career, so his supporting cast has been what has been catapulting him to success. He's had some real stinkers, like against the Broncos this year too, so He's very inconsistent in regards to certain games. So because of that, he cannot be elite. He's immediately rolled out of the S tier conversation. You could debate whether or not he's in the A tier, but personally, I would say that he's probably in the B tier, at the head of the B tier. He's better than Matt Ryan. I say this because of his upside being better, and he's more physically talented than Matt Ryan. But, accuracy wise, I'll give it to Matt. Higher IQ Matt, yeah, sure. But, I trust more in Dak, honestly, in terms of being, the guy, because Matt does not inspire confidence in me. The Texans, I think the thumbnail or like the picture is going to be Tyrod Taylor. But they started Davis Mills for the majority of the season, which was the right thing to do. And, what was I thinking? Oh, yeah. So we'll just pretend it's Davis Mills. Davis Mills has black arms in this case. Don't worry about that, boys. Excuse me. So Davis Mills showed promise given the fact that he was like the last quarterback selected, maybe in the third round of the 2021 draft. He played decently, actually, given the circumstances. Again, not amazing statistics, but the bar was so low that he clearly went over it. It was like kind of like exceeding the bar if the bar were like a tripwire. So it's like a very low effort. But then again, it is what it is. You are doing better than expected. I got to give you credit for that, Davis Mills. He doesn't have a great body, keep in mind, but he does have an above average IQ given his lack of experience. And given that fact, I would say that he's at I'd say he's like at the bottom of the C tier probably. Because, he has upside insofar as he's young, but then again, he doesn't have amazing physical talent, which will make it so that he'll probably never get above a B tier. And I'll put him ahead of the D tier because, a third round pick that performs the way that he does is better than Tua, who sucks ass for, being a top 5 pick and a complete embarrassment to the Samoan people. And I'd way rather have a representative of Samoan culture like Swollen Penis, also known as Penai Sewell. I'm not Samoan, by the way, I'm LARPing. Okay, now we have the Carolina Panthers QB, Sam Darnold. Yay, everybody, Sam Darnold, boys. He sucks ass. He throws it to ghost. That's like the meme with him, and it's completely true. His accuracy is ass. He cannot read a defense to save his life. He has a good supporting cast in terms of the receiving core, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and the other guy, Terrence Marshall. But again, he just does not perform well. He's a complete bust. He cannot make it above the college level, and it's kind of a shame that he didn't play that last senior year because if he actually did, he wouldn't have been drafted the way he was in 2019 in a relatively dry year. I think he was drafted in 2018 or 19, but the point is that compared to the people that were drafted, he's worse than almost every single one of them as of recently in the last 5 years. So, yeah, no, a complete bust. And you can blame part of it on the offensive line and all that, but he still sucks ass. He doesn't have a great body, and he doesn't have a high IQ, which means you're trash, white trash. You're going down to the bottom. You're probably slightly above Heineke, but worse than Roethlisberger, believe it or not. We have Zach Wilson. He's like this handsome Mormon guy. I don't know how much of the charisma is there. I saw this video of him at the draft in 2021 being scared about being around like these like iced out black dudes, which is understandable. You're like this Mormon guy. But yeah, so I don't know how much he's cool with the boys. I don't know if he's invited to the barbecue. I don't know if he gets the N-word pass. And because of that, I don't know how much of a team leader he can be. And I'm partially joking here, but there's truth in what I'm saying. And what I'm also trying to convey here is that he does not have an amazing arm. It is good enough to like get the job done, but he does a terrible job at reading defenses. And I've seen his film, like I've actually extensively looked at it. And the guy, again, has the physical talent to be above average, but then again, he does not have stiff competition when you're looking back at the film in college. He didn't play in the big leagues back then, but now in the NFL, he does have what it takes to be above average, like I said. But like I said before, too, he does not read the coverage well. He is very prone to throwing it to like a linebacker when he should have been throwing it more anticipatorily, to the right. And I made that word up, but you know what I mean. So, he needs to get better on that. I think he will get better. There were certain instances where he did play pretty well. The first example would be something along the lines of probably the game against the Titans earlier on this year, as well as the game against the, what do you call it? Oh, yeah, the Buccaneers, believe it or not. So, anyways, guys, I do totally believe that Zach Wilson can be above average and will be eventually. But that being the case, I just personally think that Zach Wilson is not the guy to put above A tier or B tier even. I'll put him at C tier, probably right around the Jalen Hurts territory. You have a little bit more upside than Hurts, believe it or not, and he is sneakily athletic. And a lot of people say that, like, oh, this white dude can move, and it's true, like, you look at the white man run the football, and sometimes they do impress. They do be kind of good, though. So, You're right around the Jalen Hurts area, and in a couple of years, they could go in completely different paths. Jalen Hurts can continue to be mediocre, and you can have Zach Wilson be the face of the franchise in the future. But we'll just see what happens. Daniel Jones of New York Giants fame, kind of a bust. He has a good body, and I sound so gay when I say it, but the point is, it's like you have the height, you have the throwing power, you're above average speed and mobility, breaking the sack and all that. But then again, accuracy problems, reading the defense problems, IQ problems, and a lot of this could be resolved with the better quarterback coach next year, which they do have. I forget the guy's name, like something Vrabel or Grable. Anyway, the point being is that he should be better next year. But then I think they drafted an offensive lineman. I think it's Evan Neal. He seems very promising. I think that'll help substantially in terms of time to throw and the running game in general. So I think you will be I think he'll be noticeably better. He might go from like the 28th best quarterback to like 24th or something, which is noticeably better. It might warrant him actually being re-signed, believe it or not, to like a cheap contract. So because of that, I'll put you like somewhere in the C tier. I'll put you ahead of Wentz actually, just because I see the upside with this man. So I'll put him ahead of Wentz, and I just hate Wentz. Call me a hater, but it is true. And then we have the Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, he's kind of enigmatic. He's a very inoffensive dude. He's more based on the vaccine question than is Mr. Rogers, and he didn't have to lie about it too. So I respect Kirk Cousins. He's inherently right wing. That being said, the guy is balding, and I just felt the need to say it because nobody cares. Anyway, he's pretty accurate with the throws. I've seen him run a couple times, and I am kind of impressed with it. So whatever. Yeah, so throwing power, not amazing, but that's fine. He's a good game manager. He's high IQ. He knows when to throw it away, all that. Good passer rating, etc. Interception ratio is awesome too. What I will say though is that he does not have the X factor. He does not have that amazing like, oh my god, he just threw it for 70 yards. Oh, he connected with Adam Thielen to do this. That usually doesn't happen with the guy. Oh, the guy rushed for more than 20 yards. That doesn't really happen often. So because of that fact, I can't put him that high up. I'll probably put him at the top of the B tier. Ahead of Dak Prescott, ahead of Matt Ryan. I think he's very similar to Matt Ryan actually, but a couple years younger, so that's good for him. Now we have three of the best quarterbacks around. Of course, we're going to have Justin Herbert be pretty high up there. Justin Herbert has a phenomenal arm. He can throw it extremely far. I think he threw it for 75 yards, which makes him top 3 in throwing arm in the NFL easily. He's very tall. I think he's like 6'6". He literally, I think like he armbarred like he had a guy like a defensive edge try to tackle him, and he just like stuck his arm in there and like got the throw away because he's a Chad and he's strong and he weighs like over 230 pounds and all that, which is good to see. The guy is not as accurate as Burrow. I don't think he's high IQ like Burrow because he had a better offensive line yet did not do as well statistically as Burrow, albeit it was kind of close. A lot of people give him shit for not getting into the playoffs. I don't really blame him for that. If you saw him at the end of the Raiders game when everything was on the line and everybody was exhausted, he did what he had to convert like 4 times on 4th down, which is just remarkable statistically. That's awesome. I think he has what it takes to be completely amazing and Hall of Fame talent and all that. So yeah, no. He has a great body. Again, pause. And he has an IQ enough to actually get the job done. Again, not as smart as Burrow, not as smart as Brady, not as smart as Mahomes maybe, but still up there. I'll put you in the S tier next to Burrow, but beneath him, by the way. And a lot of people will give me shit. I have a friend that's a fan of the Chargers. Anyways, seethe harder, fag. Anyway, Bills Mafia. We have Josh Allen. And where am I going to put Allen? I think Allen is great. I think he's become way more accurate than he was a couple years ago. He has a phenomenal arm, debatably the best, like I said with Herbert. So great arm, great mobility, believe it or not. He can truck people even. So he's not only somewhat fast, but he also can hurdle people. He can jump over people. He's built like Derrick Henry a little bit, like tall and, again, great arm. He could read the defense pretty well. He can actually thread the needle and throws a lot better than he used to 3 years ago. So the accuracy thing is better than Lamar even. I think he's phenomenal all around. And it's debatable whether or not he's the best, actually, of all time, well, among the people that are playing this year. That being said, is he high IQ like Brady? Not quite yet. No, he will be eventually. But as of right now, I don't know where to put him exactly. Am I more impressed with Herbert? No. Am I more impressed with Burrow? Actually, probably. Am I more impressed than Mahomes? No, or Brady. So I'll just put you in between Herbert and Burrow. Now we have who we've truly been all waiting for. That is Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is a great guy. Kyler Murray is that nigga. Kyler Murray is my quarterback. Kyler Murray is my quarterback. Kyler Murray combines high IQ, throwing power, and mobility. And for the trade-off being that he's, like 200 pounds and 5'10". And you know what? Based manlet, we embrace, the 5'7" to 5'11" master race will inherit the earth. I'm pretending, I'm kind of joking, but the point is that I don't hate on him. He's short, whatever. Russell Wilson's an inch taller than him. Cry more, bitch. My quarterback is probably better than yours. That's a fact. Kyler Murray is awesome. He had an MVP leading season up until an injury and the bye week and the second half of the season. We all know what happens then with Cliff Kingsbury offenses. Point being is that Kyler Murray is awesome. He has what it takes to be amazing. He will be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. He's awesome. And sure, he choked against the Rams, but we all have those days, guys, first of all. And second of all, the offensive line sucked. Okay, I'll be honest about that. But like I said, Kyler Murray is extremely graceful the way he runs. He avoids getting injured. If he ran like Lamar did, he would have gotten injured a long time ago. So I give him a lot of respect. He, despite not being able to see what he's throwing at, he still throws it remarkably well and accurately. The guy is such a fucking gamer. We love Kyler Murray. The talent it takes to be running super quickly to the left and then running it and then throwing it like 20 yards off balance is phenomenal. Threading a pass between like two different linebackers to a defendant, like 20 yards away while you're running is phenomenal again. So he has all sorts of benefits. He's awesome. Now, there are certain problems with him. And I will say, he's not a team leader. He's kind of introverted. He, if he starts losing by a lot, he'll kind of get depressed. And that's not a good sign. That's not leadership quality. But you don't need those leadership qualities if you're winning by a lot anyway. So I won't worry about that quite yet. So I do think Kyler Murray is the future guy, face of the franchise going forward. I do love Kyler Murray a lot. We need to pay the guy. He's awesome. We love Kyler Murray. He has a lot of the physical talents of Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson combined. We like him. That being said, though, will I put him in A tier or S tier is my question. And again, I don't want to come off like a cocksucker. I don't want to be like the biggest fanboy either, even though I'm kind of like pretending I am. So I don't know what to do. I have a jersey of the guy. I don't have a jersey from any of these other guys. So where does my loyalty lie? Is he better than Lamar Jackson? Debatably. Is he better than Matthew Stafford? Debatably. Is he better than Russell? Maybe. Better than Aaron? No. So he's not even S tier. I will grant you this. Is he better than Lamar? Actually, I think so. I think he's a noticeably better passer. And in terms of running, I think Lamar is a notch above Kyler in running. But then again, he's also like 3 notches above injury risk, despite being bigger. So because of that, I'll put Kyler between Matthew Stafford and Lamar Jackson. I think this is pretty fair. So that is going to be my ranking of the 32 NFL quarterbacks on the tier list. I hope you guys agree with me, because if you don't, I will kill you all. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, bros. Anyways, comment down below what you think. I want you to tell me what sort of content I need to do. I really want to be open to fan suggestions, because I have a lot of ideas, but I don't know if you guys will like it. So I don't know if I should even, go along with whatever's in my head at the time. So just tell me what you want, and I'll try to do it if I want to, and we'll see what we do. I want to be making more NFL content, but I know that a lot of you guys don't really care about it. So tell me if you don't care about it. Tell me if you do, and we'll see what happens. If I don't get enough views on it, I'll just give up, because what's the point then? I might as well just record it to myself and not upload it. But yeah, anyways, I'm a Cardinals fan, by the way. I like the Lions too. That's my second favorite team, and then I do like the Cowboys third. I put the Lions second because I'm from Michigan, and I put the Cardinals first because I live in Arizona, and I put the Cowboys third because my dad's a Cowboys fan, and he cannot shut up about it. So that is basically my ranking. And again, I was kind of joking in certain parts of the video. Do I hate Carson Wentz because he's ugly? I mean, yeah, sort of, but that's not a genuine reason to hate someone. Also, when I say hate, I mean just making fun of them. I'm not actually seething about Carson Wentz being alive. All right, I'm just kind of playing up a bit. And, it's all part of the joke, bros. I hope that by me being vulgar, I'm kind of adding something to the NFL sort of community where I'm being a little less politically correct. If you noticed, I'm pretty sure I uploaded a video defending Deshaun Watson, so I'm being a little bit contrarian. I'm kind of spicing it up here, but I don't really care. That's the point of the channel. I'm trying to do stuff that other people won't. It's called we do a little innovation. It's called we do a little sticking our necks out for people that deserve help. That sounded kind of gay, but it is kind of true. So, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed everything. And like I said, any feedback is okay. Any constructive criticism is fine. Make fun of me if you want, even. Obviously, nothing illegal in chat, please. And I hope I see you in the next vid. And personally, I'm stretching this video out to 50 minutes so I can have a nice flat time code. Anyways, I'll leave you until the next one. I'll see y'all later. Bye.